welcome, and thank you for having us.
Well, it's been great. The neatest thing about this, I've learned so much today listening to the speakers, but I've seen so many old friends that second generation dealers, some guys that that have been friends of mine for 50 years that I get advice from. So it's been really a pleasure for me to see everyone. And yesterday, last night, to have rides here at the track, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, welcome. And it is incredible to have this event here on your 50th anniversary on the automotive side, 40 years of racing. It's hard to put into words some of those things that are in the video. As you reflect on that time, I know you've always been an audible caller. You've said that. I know you have a plan, but you don't mind calling an audible. You've done it many times as the industry has shifted, as racing has shifted. You still calling audibles?
Well, you have to call an audible every day. I think the key to our success or longevity in the automobile business and the racing business is connecting all the people and not thinking that you have to follow a plan that's been presented years ago, but call an audible, be ready to change daily because our sport and our industry changes every single day. And I see a lot of these folks out here. Roger Penske and I talk once a week. Jeff has been an old friend of mine. I call him and we talk. Sam Pack here. Sam's the legend, the Ford dealer that I called him one day because I was buying a Ford store. And I told him, I said, Sam, tell me about this deal. And I sent him the statement. He said, I wouldn't buy it. And sure enough, I didn't buy it. But I think I'm telling these stories. Old guys tell stories. But, the thing about our industry and the success or failure, it's people. And it's the same in everything you do. Our motorsports operation, we started with 5 people. And now, including the technology group, we have 800. And we started with 5 people in the automobile side. Now it's 12,000. And so sometimes I think it happened in a flash, and I don't really know how we got here other than our faith, our families, and a lot of hard work, but believing in each other and working together.
You've led through periods of great uncertainty, whether it was an oil embargo, speaking of
no, that's
same
old.
but different.
Sam remembers that.
Yeah. 20% interest rates, financial crisis, COVID. I mean, during COVID, you made a decision not to lay anybody off. You paid them. And you told me once that you kind of did the calculus and asked your CFO, well, when are we going to run out of money? How much time do we have here? And sure enough, you kept everybody. You came out stronger because of it, didn't you?
Yeah, and he's here today. I said, how long can we pay everybody? Actually, it was a Friday night. And I went home, and Linda and I were talking, and it happened first in California. They shut down California first. And I said, I just cannot think of laying people off. I'm going to pay them as long as I can. So we paid everybody 80%, and we kept everybody together, didn't lay anybody off. And to this day, when I walk through the dealership, I have teammates that say, thank you. You saved my house, you saved my family. And he said we could do it for 90 days. It didn't take about 45, and we were back on our feet. And, keeping the team together, we didn't have to kind of re-rack. We were ready to go.
It all ties back to something that you've believed throughout your career. You've said, we're in the people business.
Yes.
You said before you get customer satisfaction, before anything else happens, it's all about people. You've got employee satisfaction. Where did that philosophy come from?
Well, I grew up on a farm, as you said, and you had to count on your neighbors. And so you couldn't do everything yourself. So my mom and dad taught me that. And my wife, Linda, she helped kids in an orphanage. And at our wedding 53 years ago, the only folks there were these little girls that she had. And so she's always been a giver. And relying on people was something that I learned at an early age, and trying to keep people in the organization. When they hit 25 years, to give them a Rolex. I thought that was a good idea way back. But in today's world, when people, I have a lot of people hit 25 years.
I think you're giving out a lot of Rolexes,
Yeah,
aren't you?
yeah. I have, and it's with a pleasure. But no, I think we're in the people business. I said it a million times, but people don't care about you if they don't think you care about them. So we do 350 to 400, scholarships for our folks, for our kids, and we have a disaster fund we participate in that's named after my son. If a porter or someone falls on hard times, and so we'll make house payments, or we will, have a death in the family, and our GMs vote on it. And something that we believe in taking care of our people. We pay for their insurance, and that's something, health insurance, super expensive, but it makes a big difference in keeping people in place, and 401k matches, things like that. And it's paid big dividends over the 50 years.
You still go through every dealership, every department. You rank performance. You're in every monthly meeting, right? Ringing bells, celebrating everything. I've heard about them.
Yeah, well, you need to come. We have a big party.
I've heard
Most months it's fun, but some months it's not. But no, every month do we have conference calls, and I sit on all of those calls. It takes 3 days. I have the import division, domestics, and the Highline division, and we go through every single dealership. We're on a video conference. I'm talking to the general manager, all the marketing guys, all of our management team is on the video also, and we rank everything from new vehicle gross to customer pay to finance. Our very proud of our online reputation. We're number one in the industry, regardless of private or public. And so we work hard to set goals and maintain standards. And by me talking to every single GM and getting feedback, looking at their numbers, it helps me to understand in real time what the business is like. And they get to talk to me, and then we recap at the end of the day. And it's a process, but it's one that I've practiced for almost 50 years, and that's something that's very important.
It seems to be working.
Well, yeah.
What do you've listened today, you've been with us all day long, you've heard what other people have said about the industry, but based on your interaction with your teams on a regular basis, where's the industry today according to Rick Hendrick?
Well, it's a great business, and I know everyone talked about it today. We made a decision about 3 years ago to expand our service operation, parts and service. Big ADI dealer, probably 25% of all the accessories that GM sells comes through us, from Maryland to Texas. And so big parts business. And last month, and almost every month in the last 12 months, our fixed has outgrossed our variable by a bunch, maybe 30%. And we have a big fixed operation. And I think Jeff talked about 90%, 100%, 110% fixed coverage. And if you count even our new deals, we're in the high 90s. So we have deals at 114, 120% fixed coverage. And that gets you through all of the downturns. And I've seen everything there is in the business. But I think, again, just being able to concentrate on AI. I've learned a lot about AI. I'm an old dog. I'm an old car dog. So having young smart people around me that believe in the new things. Our president, JB's here. JB has got a group, and that's all he focuses on is the new technology. And we did roll out AI through all of our stores. And because We do work so close together, market area vice presidents and our general managers and the management company. We can implement things in a hurry, and that's because we stay connected in real time. But I think the future's bright. I mean, these are the best dealers in the world sitting in this room. Again, like I said, some second generation guys to guys that have been around a long time. And it's a people business, and you're having a great franchise, taking care of people. I believe in the philosophy, if it gets to me, it's free. If I have a customer that gets to me, I'm going to buy the car back, or I'm going to give them the service, and then I'm going to charge it to the dealership. And you won't have to do that but once or twice. And the Jungle Telegraph will tell everybody in 100 stores, you better not let the problem get to the boss. So, no, I think the future's great. I love the business. I get to do the two things in life I love the most outside of my family, racing and the automobile business. My wife's here today, 53 years, and she I have to give her all the credit because when
You got to tell that story.
well, so I'm at 23. I'm running a Honda, Mercedes, BMW store. She had a Mercedes. I drove a BMW. Had a brand new house. I got recruited by Chevrolet, and at that back in 1976, Chevrolet was the deal. If you could get a Chevrolet franchise, that was it. And so they offered me one in Bennettsville, South Carolina, and it had no showroom. Now the rent was $1,800 a month. You couldn't do a bathroom for that, but so anyway, we go down there, and I was joking. I said, this is probably going to be in the middle of a bean field, and sure enough, we get down to Bennettsville, South Carolina, and here's a big Chevy sign in the middle of a cornfield, wasn't a bean field. And I got cold feet. I said, no, I'm not doing this. And she said, you want to do it. We can start over. So you won't be satisfied. Let's do it. So I give her credit for us being here today. So
Wow, unbelievable.
And I've got my daughter and my grandson who's he spends more time on his racetrack than anybody I know.
He was out here racing
my
yesterday, I
son-in-law,
think.
yeah, he was giving rides yesterday. So I'm real proud of my family, and family is the most important thing. So I'm glad they were here to see this.
You've had a couple of close calls, and you were within a pretty close call of not having the racing team either until you won at Martinsville.
Yeah, I was supposed to be partners with Kenny Rogers, and Richard Petty was going to be the driver, and that's like an all-star cast. And we're going to have concerts in every city, and then at the last minute, Petty pulled out, and then Kenny Rogers pulled out, and I had nothing, and went to Daytona, and so in the sixth race, I said we got to stop. I can't afford to go any further. And we went to the seventh race, and I was with my wife in church when we won that race. And so the rest is history. So, but it was very close to not making it.
Yeah, you kept everything going. And now you have got just a not so infamous individual running your racing program. I mean, a very famous guy in Mr. Gordon. Tell me about what he has done for your organization as vice chairman now, and what he could do in the future.
Well, Jeff is a special guy. When he came into NASCAR, he revolutionized the sport. He brought in more young drivers. He did Saturday Night Live. He has tremendous talent, along with being a four-time champion and third in all-time list of wins. And so when he stepped out of the car, we always had a plan that he would help me in the motorsports side. So he spoke to you guys last night, and then he flew to California to represent NASCAR last night. So he's a great individual. The drivers respect him a lot, and he's just done a super job.
And by the way, you got a win last weekend too, so that doesn't hurt.
Win on Sunday, sell on Monday. Yeah.
What is winning on the racetrack, even just your race experience, done in terms of how you operate on the automotive side, maybe vice versa?
Well, I think sharing of information, we have HendrickCars.com. All of our used cars are on that site, and every dealership can sell them. And so to have 4 race teams running out of the same building, having to compete against each other, but you ask them to work together and share information, that's hard. And so to have deals in a city and one of the salesmen in one of the dealerships can sell a car that's in the other for the dealership to give it to them, that's hard to overcome the want to be able to keep all the gross in-house. But we developed a system, and I think it's showing people that you're stronger together, working together, all the smart people pulling in the same direction. And I think if you went through the shop, we keep the guys keep the shop immaculate, and I bring the dealerships here to see how clean the race teams' shops are, and then we go inspect every dealership to make sure that it stays that way. And so technicians is a hard thing to come by, and we take our best techs in the country and we pair them with engine builders at Motorsports and bring them together. And then we have a build-off and crown a champion, and we stream it all over the country. So our technicians in the stores feel a part, and it motivates them to want to have high SE scores. And it also motivates people that maybe aren't in racing that want to be in the dealerships. So it's a tool we use. So the 2 teams work extremely close together.
Yeah, a lot of cross collaboration.
Yeah.
You also have such great relationships across the industry, and you've got this little facility that's being built right now that's only going to do the engines for the Formula One Cadillac team right here.
Yeah.
Incredible. How did that come about?
Well, we have, we've been racing Chevrolet, racing General Motors since I've been in the sport in 1984. So I had plans to expand my museum, and that facility now houses the GM Tech Center, and it's got the only 4-wheel AVL dyno in North America. And so it's a huge facility. And then so they decided when they got into Formula One, they need an engine facility, and this is a massive project that's on our campus, and it's going to have 300 engineers in it. And if you take our technology group and the GM folks, where we started with 5 people 40 years ago, there'll be 1,000 engineers on that campus by the end of the year. So it's amazing what's happened.
It's amazing what Cadillac's doing for 2 cars that are running across it around the world, right?
Well, they're finding out how tough it is right now. And so before Mercedes left, that was a question I was going to ask them: are you going to give the Cadillacs a break because winning all the races? But no, I'm so blessed to be able to enjoy the 2 things, like I said, and to have the complex that's a mile from here, and then now have this track. And so we're enjoying the relationship between motorsports and the automobile business.
Well, and I was talking to some of your folks earlier this week, and I mean, this place is booking up like crazy. You've already had, as I mentioned earlier, you've had Ferrari in here, you've had McLaren has been in here. This is just an extension of what goes on across the road here too, and all of your racing history in a beautiful venue with beautiful cars. So let's talk about those cars for just a minute, and then we'll wrap it up. You have one heck of a collection. I mean, some people say it's the largest collection of modern vehicles in America, perhaps the world. I know you love them, and I know you don't sell a lot of them either, like Jay. Tell me a little bit about that passion for everything that's new, including a couple of them that just rolled off the truck this morning from Europe.
Yeah, that one did come in this morning. No, I always dreamed of having a Corvette, and I didn't think I'd ever have one. And so I started my second year as a dealer collecting 67 Corvettes. And now I have every color they made in 67. And so I have like 130 some Corvettes, the first 55, first 56, first 57. We just found the first 58. So no, I'm a car junkie. I love cars, and whether it's Mercedes or BMWs or Ferraris or just muscle cars, I love them all.
Wonderful. You said something before to me that stuck with me. You can be competitive, you can be successful, and you can still treat people the right way. Is that the legacy that you're most proud of?
I think, yeah, I think so. I know so. I've told my family. Actually, we had a family meeting 2 years ago, and I said, this company's so good. I'd like to think I'm going to live 20 more years, but I would hate to see it break up, because we've built, so many people have helped build us, and one brick at a time, starting with nothing. And today, the way we feel about each other as a big family, and I don't want to see it broken up. And so the family and I decided we want to look at the next 50 years. We want to be private, and we don't want to break it up. And so that was a commitment that Linda and Lynn and Marshall and Hendrick, we all made. And so it gives our people, when I kicked that off 2 years ago, I saw 35-year-old guys and gals in the audience that had this feeling of comfort that, hey, nothing's going to happen to this thing. We worked hard. Let's keep it going. And same with motorsports. And so hopefully we're around for another 50 years.